Generally, when you say event, there are two types of event: browser specific event and browser specific event and application specific events. When I say browser specific events, like on click, on double click, on mouse over, on mouse out, key press, key release, these are what? Browser specific events. Now the events what we are going to learn in the Lightning is not browser specific events. Generally, any browser specific event occurs when any browser specific event occurs, it will call JavaScript. Any browser specific event occur, it will call JavaScript. Now we don't want to call a JavaScript, we want to call it events within the JavaScript. When any browser specific event occurs, script will be called. On click, JavaScript. On click, on change, JavaScript. On focus, JavaScript. On blur, JavaScript. On mouse over, JavaScript. On mouse out, JavaScript. Any browser specific event occurs, it will be calling is JavaScript. Within that JavaScript, I want to call your application specific events. Now the events which are designed in the Lightning, JavaScript will call the events designed in the Lightning. Now, whatever the events we are designing, they are classified into two types. One is a component event, another one is application event. There are two types of events what we have. One is a component event, other one is a application event. What is a component event and what is a application event? Basically, look at the point. When you say event, component 1, it will fire event. Component 1 will fire event. When a component 1 fires the event, another component will handle the event. One component is firing an event, another component is handling the event. Component 1 will fire, another component will handle. So we should know how to create an event first, how to register the event, how to fire an event, how to handle the event. How many things are involved here? Creation of event, registering an event, firing an event, handling an event. There are 4 steps involved here. One is component will fire, another component will handle. Otherwise, component will fire, same component will handle. Component will fire, same component will handle. Component will fire, another component will handle. So in this process of life cycle, creation of event, registering of event, then firing of event, handling of event should be done. Right. So these are the 4 phases. Now the process of firing, process of handling depends upon type of event. As I told you, there are 2 types of event. What are they? Component level, application level. Now let us say this is one component. I have this is child component 1. Now all these are child components. I have a parent component, I have all these as child component. So what happened? Child 1, so we have a component which consists of 3 child components. When I say component level event, look at the point. This component fired an event. This component fired event. This component fired the event. When a component fired the event, child component 3 fired the event. Who will handle it? Who can handle it? Child 3 can handle, or parent can handle. So the entire background color, so who can handle it? Child 3 can handle it, or parent can handle it. Child 3 can handle it, or parent can handle it. Suppose child 2 fired an event. If child 2 fired an event, who can handle it? Child 2 fired an event. Who can handle it? Child 2 can handle, or when we say component level event, the component which fired the event, that component the component itself can handle it, or the parent component of it can handle it. If child component fires it, child component can handle it, or its parent can handle it. Siblings cannot handle it. If an event fired by child 3, child 1 or child 2 cannot handle it. Only parent can handle it. Are you getting my point? In the component level event, when I say component level event, once again, let me make it clear. This is a parent component, or let's say application. In the application, it's a parent component. In the parent component, I have 3 child components. Now this entire thing is now child 1, now entire structure is parent. When event is occurring on child 1, either child 1 can handle it, or parent can handle it. If the event is occurring on child 2, only child 2 can handle it, or a parent can handle it. Event is occurring on child 3, only child 3 can handle it, or a parent can handle it. Now, event on child 1 cannot be handled by child 2, cannot be handled by child 3. Are you getting my point here? Are you getting my point? Why? So it is a component level event. Suppose we have a structure like this. Look at this structure. This is parent. And on the top of it, we have one more parent. Now, try to understand this. Now, event occurring on child 1 can be handled by parent 1, parent 2, parent 3. Now, but it cannot be handled by child 2 or child 3. So it is a what we say? The structure is called bubbling concept. So when you go for a bubble concept, what is the bubble concept? Now, when you go for the bubble concept, while events are fired, from child will be fired. Child 1 will fire, that will be taken to parent 1, parent 1 to parent 2, parent 2 to parent 3, like this child structure, okay, bubbling structure. Once a bubble has happened, handling will be starting from top. Top one is handled first, second one handle next, second, okay, third one handle next. Handling will be done from top to bottom. And okay, definition will be given from firing will be done from child to parent. Child top to bottom is handling, bottom to top is firing. While firing, bottom to for filing. What was that? Unmute your mic and ask the question and get your question.
Satish, sorry, like handle in the sense when the some action occurred in the child one, the related one will be fired or some handling in the sense I'm not clear about.
Now, see, when you fire anything, that should be captured by somebody. So first, parent 3 will capture first. Then it will be captured by parent 2. Then it will be captured by parent 1. Now your firing means you are invoking some action. The action is first handled by parent 1. Then if parent 2 is handling, parent 2. Now let us say child 1 handle. When child 1 fire, it doesn't mean that parent 1 should handle, parent 2 should handle, parent 3 should handle. When child 1 fired, parent 3 can handle, parent 2 can handle, parent 1 can handle. Suppose all the 3 are writing code for handling it, then parent 3 will run first, parent 2 will run next, parent 1 will next. Did you get my point here? Now you fired an event on child 1 boss. When child 1 event fired, it is not necessary that everybody has to handle it. I wrote a code in parent 3 to handle the logic what you fired. Then only parent 3 will run. The child, okay, child 1 fired. I wrote a logic in the parent 2 handle. Only parent 2 will handle it. Suppose you wrote a code in the parent 3, parent 2 and parent 1. Then what will happen? Parent 3 will run first. Parent 2 will run next. Parent 1 will run next. Did you get my point? Okay. So when you go for the code, you will understand it. Okay. I hope you got my point. So component level code is what? What is the component level? If event is occurring on a component, only that component can handle, or its parent can handle. Okay. Now let us go to the next one, application. When you say application, look at the point. Basic idea, you got it? Event fired by one child can be handled by same or its parent, not by sibling. That's what I want to convey the message. Now we have parent. Let us say we have a parent, I have a child. Child 1, now child 1, child 2, child 3. 3 child components are here. Now application level event. When you say application level event fired by child 1. If the child 1 fires the event, child 1 can handle, child 2 can handle, child 3 can handle, parent can handle. What does it mean? So if any event is fired, if any event is fired, it can be handled by the same component or the siblings or the parent. Right? So this is what? Application level event. This is called as application level event. Component, it can be handled by only the child or the corresponding parent. When you say application can be handled by the same or siblings or by the parent. Are you getting? So any modification I made on this, that can be reflected on this, can be reflected on this. Any change happening on this can be reflected here, or on the parent. So basic story about the application and component level, is it clear? I hope you got the difference between application level event and component level event. Right, boss? Application level event is handled by siblings, component or siblings or its parent. Okay. Now Let us look at the basic level of theory. Now, how you created your component? If you want to create a component, how did you create? File, new, lightning application, lightning component. Similarly, we have what? Lightning. This will have extension of EVT. This will have extension of EVT. URA, event, type, application or component. URA, type, application or component. Now whether it's a application level event or a component level event. If it is a component, application. Now URA, event, type, application or a component, description. Now event will have extension of EVT. Within this, if you want to define any attributes, URA attribute, name equal to infinite. I am giving a attributes. If you want to give an attributes, you can give an attributes. Now component 1 want to transfer some data to component 2. How they transfer? Component 1 will fire an event. That event will capture the data and transfer this data to component 2. The component 2 will handle this event. When you are handling the event, whatever the data that is there in the event, I will capture it. Component 1 will put the data in the event and it will fire. Component 2 will capture that event, take the data in the event and process the logic. Component 1 put the data in the event, fire the event. Component 2 capture that event, take the data, run the logic. Are you getting my point? Now you are sending, you are putting some data in the box and you are throwing it. I am capturing the box, taking the data in the box, I am using it. Now we are putting the data in the box, throwing it. I am capturing the box, taking the data, using it. Now the box is what? Event. You are putting the data in the event, throwing it. I am catching that event, taking the data and using it. How will you put the data? By using attribute. How will you put the data? By using attribute. I hope you are good. I hope everyone has followed this. Clear? Okay. Now, let us get into the theoretical part first. Then we'll go for it. Now, first, what is the purpose of the events? What is the purpose of the events? If you want to transfer the data, we'll be going for events. If you want to transfer the data between the components, we'll go for events. If you want to transfer the data between the components, I'll go for events. Now, in this component event propagation. So, what was that? Look at this. Event fired, capture the event, bubble phase. Event fired, capture and bubble phase. Now, look at this. Capturing, bubbling, capture and bubble. Now, it will bubble to what? Root. Bubble to root means you child component fired, now parent component captured and take the action out of it. Okay. Capture, bubble it. Capture, bubble it. What are the phases we have? The phases are capture and bubble phase. Event fired, capture and bubble phase. Okay. Now let us see, when you are doing this, how do you create a component level events? Already we discussed this point. URA event type equal to component, then attribute, whatever the data you want to pass, we will pass it as attribute. Okay. Now this attribute, the person who is firing the event, somebody is firing an event. The person who is firing the event, he was supposed to put the data in event. How will you put the data in event? Event dot set params key value. The data what you want to put in a event. Now in the event we have attribute. I want to put the data. Anybody want to put the data to an event, they have to put it as what? Set params key value pair. How are you going to pass? Key value pair. Set param key value pair. Set params key value pair. Set param key value pair. While capturing get param key. If you give a key, they'll give a value. If you give a key, they'll give a value. Now you may set a single parameter or multiple parameter. Single parameter, set param. Multiple parameter, set params. If it is a multiple parameters, key value pair. Okay. Now you fired it. When you fired it, when I want to fire, you already have an event, I want to fire. Which event you want to fire? Now child component 1 want to fire. I can fire 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 40 events. Which one you want to fire? So first I have to get the event. If you remember, while writing a client-side controller, component, event, helper. How many parameters are there? 3 parameters. Component, event, helper. Component is, from which component you call this client-side controller? Event is which event you want to fire. Which event you want to fire. So which event is there? Component 1. Component 1 has registered which event? Component 1 has registered which event? So look at the point. Everyone try to understand these points clearly. Once you are good with theory, writing a program is easier here. This is the event I created. First example. Dot event. Now I have component 1. Child component. Now the child component, what it has to do? First, whatever the event that child component want to use, it has to register that event. Whatever the child component that child want to use, there are a couple of events, boss. Try to understand this. All these are events. All these are events. It is not necessary. Okay, all these are events. Whichever the events, this component want to use, it has to register first. Here are register event. Whichever the event the child component want to use, in the organization there are multiple events. Out of this, whichever the event you want to use, you have to register this. Now you have to register this. What was that? Type equal to first I have to register. So look at the format, registering an event. So what we have? Register event, name. This is your choice. Type equal to C colon, type equal to C colon event. Now type equal to C colon. Why are you using C colon? Why are you using C colon? If you have any namespace, you can use it. If you don't have a namespace, I am using this. Now how you are calling? C colon event. Now name, it's your option. Anything. But whatever the name you are using, the same name I will be using in a client-side controller, my event. Right. Again, I want to use one more event. I can have multiple events registered. Register event. I have multiple events registered. Now the child component has registered. Once you registered, what this child component will do? This child component will fire. Once you register, the child component has to fire. It has registered the event. Once you have registered the events, you are supposed to fire. You are supposed to fire. From where are you going to fire? From where are you going to fire? From the client side controller. When event occurs, what event? What event? Browser event. On the component, on this component, any browser event occurs, like on click, on change, on focus, on blur. This type of browser event occurs, JavaScript will be called. What is that JavaScript? Client side controller. So in the client side controller, what we are going to have? Function, component, event. So here what I am doing, then we are going to say event dot get, event dot get. What we are going to do, based on the name, what is the name I gave? My event. So we are going to have event dot get event, name of the event. What is the name of the event? Sample component event. Here also I am giving sample component event. Here I am giving sample component event. Here also I am giving sample component event. So as per my example, what is the name? My event. Here also I was supposed to give as what? Component dot get event. Let me make it here. Event dot get event. Name of the event should be same. Whatever the name you give, I give my event. Then ABC dot. Right. So what we have done? Created a events. The component has registered the event. When the component has registered the event, type of the event. So namespace colon event. Name, any name you have to give. With the same name we are going to invoke it. Then when the browser specific event occurs on the component, client side control is called. Client side control is going to call the event and fire the event. Now if you want to set the parameters, ABC dot set. Set the parameters. It may be a single parameter or multiple parameters. Now you fired it. When you fired it, somebody has to handle it. You fired it, somebody has to handle it. Component fired, somebody has to handle, somebody has to handle it. Now this firing is good. Everyone is good with this? Clear? On the component, register, then browser specific event, client side controller called, it is getting the event, firing the event by setting the parameter. Now how do you handle it? How do you handle it? Let us take the next step. I hope this is good with everyone. Clear for everyone. That's what they are trying to explain in the entire story. Okay. Go to the next. Handling the event. When you want to handle, already we have done a handler. How did you do? Jira handler. If you remember well, I have given, we already done examples with Jira handler. Name equal to init. Value equal to this. Action. This is what we have done, right? This is for initialization. Name is what? Initialization. This component initialization we are given. Now the same. Now I want to go with the same. I want to handle the event. The same I want to use for handling the event. Now how do you handle the event? The same Jira handler is used to handle the event. Same Jira handler is to handle the event. How are you giving? Jira handler. Name equal to name of the event what you registered. In the component, I have registered with one name, right? So what is the name with which I have registered here? My event. So name of the handler, Jira handler. Previously name equal to init, initialization, this particular. But now it is not init, name equal to name of the event with which you registered. Then event, which event you want to handle? Whatever the event you registered there, same event we want to handle. C dot event, C colon event. Then action. So what happened? The moment you fire, automatically this handler will be called it out. The moment you fire there, automatically this is called. The moment you fire an event, automatically this handler is called. Handler is what? Auto run. Handler will be performed automatically. When you fire an event, I will automatically fire a handler to capture it. That's what is given name event handler. I hope you are good with this. Are you getting my point here? Are you getting my point here? So handler, name, event. So when you are going for this creation of component, create an event, type equal to component, then find the component events, register, name, type equal to C:, event name, fire the event, then you are going to handle the event. So basic steps are followed by everyone. Clear? Okay. Let us do one basic example to understand this. Right. What is the name of this? First example. Event is first example. Child event component. In the child component, what you are supposed to do first? You are register, name, type, C:, what is the name? First name of the event, type of the event. Then I am giving lightning button, label equal to submit on. So what I was doing here is, okay, I'll take a static data first. So in this component, what we have? Only button we have. In this component, we have only button. This component, I will display only button. First, let me display parent component. Jira handler, name equal to, what is the name of the event I gave? My event. Now event equal to C:, action, then in this component I am giving C:. Now within this component, I am calling a child component also. Child component will display what? Button. Parent component will display what? Name value. Whatever the name we have, that name will be displayed. Name, below that button will be coming. Now let us create an application. I didn't write any controllers to firing and handling. I just created a child component, parent component. Let us see. What is the parent component I have? Event, parent. So I am calling parent component in the application. I have so what happened? Name, button. We are not getting any actions here. So for the UI purpose, I may give some BR. This is what I got. I hope you are good, boss. 2 components. Now what happened? Let us go with this. First, child component should fire the event. Child component should fire the event. So I am giving where event dot get event get the event. EVT dot set params EMP name. Then EVT dot we are firing the value. When you fire it, who has to handle it? Parent component has to handle it. Handling by what? Call me. Handling by what? Call me. In the parent we have a method called call me, which is handling the event. Now, how are you going to get? Event dot then I'm giving component dot set v dot in the parent component. What is the variable I have taken? My name. So what I'm doing, whatever the name you are passing in the event, that name I took and I keeping to child component. Sorry, in the parent component. So when you click on the button, look at the point. When you click on the button, invoke method is called. Invoke method is firing an event. The moment invoke method fire an event, automatically call me method is handling it. First look at the example here. We'll try to get the UI. What was that? Get event is not a function. What was the function here? Component dot get event. Sorry. Component dot get event. What we are getting here? Basic example I give. Now let us make it as a meaningful use case. Did you follow this point? Right? When event is occurring on the button, function is called, function is firing an event, automatically parent is handling it and displaying it. Now what is my requirement here is, for clear or not? People are clear with this? Clear or not? Yes or not? Okay. Now let us take an example. If you don't ask the question, topic will not be repeated and you are going to lose it. For me, whether you listen or not, same class, same story, same topic. I've been repeating from last 7.5 years. I'll repeat for next 7 years also. So you'll be here for 3 months, you have to learn it and go. If you didn't follow, you have to ask me. Otherwise, I'll not be able to repeat it. Okay. So take the worth of the money what you are paying. Right. Now let us see. We have a component here. In the component, I have a div. Now let us see. Here I am giving name, right. Now we are taking this name for industry. It is one of the child component. It is one of the child component. So here I have to create the data. Once you enter the name for industry and click on save, Click on the save. Give you better structure. Now this is displaying a data. What is the data? Name, phone, industry. Basically, I want to display the list of records like this. Now I have a component here. When I enter the data, this is component 1. When I enter the data, click on a button. If data is saved successfully, automatically I have to, if the status is success, automatically I have to go to the current class, get the data, display the data here. So this is one component which is inserting the data. This is another component. Okay, this is data, and then the parent component. What I'm doing, displaying the list of record. When an event occurs on the child, automatically that should be reflected back into the parent. When the event occurs on the parent, automatically that should be reflected in the child. When the event occurs on the parent, child, automatically that should be reflected in the parent. Or else, did you get my point? Okay, let me give you one more context here. I have one more context here. Let us try to understand this. I am trying to relate this example with yesterday's example where you wrote a SQL queries. Okay. Now what I am doing is enter name. This is the parent. Now in the child, we have a child component. Enter it. When I click on search, this is actually child component. When I click on search, if the rating value is entered, then fire the event. If rating value is entered, fire the event. Then it will go to the parent component. Parent component will take this rating. Parent component will take the name. Then write a SQL query. Get the data and display. Did you get my point? When an event is occurring on this element, it will check whether name and rating is entered or not. If the name and rating are entered, then fire the event. When you fire the event, then it is going to write a SQL query, get the data and display it. This is my requirement. Did you get my requirement? Right? Okay. Try to understand this point. Yes, Amma.
Hi, Satish, a few queries.
Yeah.
So, Satish, in our previous classes, I understood like events we mainly used to transfer the data between the components. But in previous class also, without using of these events, you have showed us like within components.
First example here. I got your point. Let me make it simple. I got your point. I'll make it simple. In the first example, while you are learning a component, calling a component within a component, then I passed the attributes of one component, I passed to another component. But here, I want to apply some logic, get the data and apply it. I want to write some logic, get the data and apply it. I want to write some logic, get the data and apply it. I am not straight away passing the data. Now you are passing the data with the help of the data. I am writing a logic. Then whatever the result I am getting, that I am passing. I don't want to pass a straight away data. Being a first example, straight away I give the data. But now we are going to pass, we are going to apply some business logic. Whatever the result we are getting, that we are passing to another component. What my point was?
Oh, okay, Satish, got it.
Now
And next question is like here you have showed us like we can publish, which means which we can fire, and subscription which we can handle. If this firing and handling doesn't match, will we get any runtime error, or what will happen if I publish?
See, now I am firing ABC. You are trying to handle XYZ. What will happen?
I will not even handle XYZ. Whenever whenever my
Now, if you
requirements
don't
come,
handle it,
only then I'll.
be cool.
Hello?
Be cool, and understand clearly. If you fire, if you don't know handle it, no issue. I am firing it. Doesn't mean that you have to handle it. I am firing it, boss. Doesn't mean that you have to handle it. Doesn't mean that you handle it. If you don't handle it, no operation will be performed. Just it will be fired. That's the same page you find it. Now from a page you are firing it. If you are not handling it, the same page remains. The same page remains. If you want to handle it, then you write a handler. Doesn't mean that everybody has to handle. That's what I told. You fire it. You fire it. Why are you firing if you don't want to handle? Now apply the thought basically. Now if you don't want to handle, why are you writing an event? You don't want to handle it. Why are you writing an event? If you are firing it, there is a purpose of you are expecting somebody to handle it. If you don't want anybody to handle it, don't fire it. Now the code is given by you. Now you have to decide whether to fire or not. Are you getting? If you fire, nobody handle, you will still remain on the same page. Still remain on the.
We will not get any exceptions.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
And
the
my
page is
last
processing,
question
right? You fired it. The page is processing. When you fire, the page is still processing. Right.
Yeah. So another question is like you showed us the vertical hierarchy, right? Like child, parent one, parent two, parent three. If there is, if suppose if we have horizontal hierarchy, like an application can contain a number of parent components. In that case, is this handling of child components can be handled by other parent also, which is in same level or same
Now,
peer?
now you are making a simple things very complex and kitschy. Right. I told very clearly, siblings cannot handle it. When you say sibling,
No, not.
hold for a minute. Don't interrupt. Right. Now when I told same component siblings cannot handle, how can a parent component siblings can handle it? Now when I say sibling, now he has a query. Now he is my parent boss. He is my child. Now you are saying some other parent at the same level. This is parent 1. Parent 2. Now who is this parent 2 for parent 1? Is not a sibling? Now,
Maybe.
not maybe boss. It is a sibling. Right. Now I told parent 1. Now this is the parent boss. This is the parent. This is parent 2. This is parent 3. Now within this again I have parent 4. Within this I have a child component. Now tell me who can handle the event on this child component? Parent 4, parent 2, parent 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So what parent 3 will happen? It is sibling. Parent 3 is what? Sibling. Now both of them are in the one component only. But parent 3 is what? Sibling. Right? Now it is a child is defining this parent. This parent is defining this. This is defining this. So you can handle, you can handle, you can handle, and this can handle. But the other cannot handle. What is this? A sibling. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Fine.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. The same I gave with a single statement saying that siblings cannot handle it. Now you asked parent 1, subchild, okay, group. The same question was asked in different style. Okay. The query is the same. Okay, boss. Come back. I hope you are good. Now let us
Clear, sir.
Let us go to the next one here. Now I'm trying to go with the second event. I give second event component hello. DML event component I give an ID. Now understand this example. Somebody has asked me component to component. Here I'm going to demonstrate. Here I have first the register event, type c dot email, then I'm giving I'm going to enter the phone number, click on search. The moment I click on this, control is called. Search control is called. Now what the search is doing, whatever the phone number I entered, I want to fetch it first. Phone number we fetch it. Here we had one Apex class. Whatever the phone number I gave, based on the phone number, if there are any contacts, fetch it. 100 and so on. Now what this is giving, based on your phone number, they are finding out are there any contacts. If there are any contacts, they are going to return the ID of the parent account. They are going to return the ID of the parent account. Okay. Then here I am calling it where action equal to component dot get c dot action dot I'm passing the phone number, action dot set, then where state equal to get state. Response got get return value. Now I am creating event where event equal to component dot get event. What is the name of the event I registered? ACC name. Get this event evt dot set params what is the ID I gave? Account ID. Right. ACC. Did you get my point? On the child component, once you enter the phone number, click on the button, it is going to automatically call the Apex class, verify are there any contacts with the same phone number. Yes, get their account ID, pass this account ID. Now, am I passing the data straight away? Am I passing? No, there is some business logic happening. Based on the business logic, I am getting the data. The data I was passing to the right. Now, the first example, what I have taken, component 1 attribute is passed to component 2. Here I am not straight away giving the data. I am applying some business logic. After the business logic, whatever the result I am getting, that I am passing. Now, I am going to take a parent 2 component. What is my parent 2 component? Your handler name equal to what is the name I gave? ACC event equal. I forgot to add a class name here. Controller. What was that? Account event example. Right? Okay. Now here also right. Now I had an invoke method. When you call this invoke method, what is it is doing? L name equal to Right. Power will run for half an hour. Class will not be cancelled. Right. So we have last name, first name, we got it. Now get the value. Where account ID. Event dot get param. What is the parameter I have passed? Account ID. In the event, what is the parameter they passed? Account ID. Right. So in the same class, I have one more method here. So I was giving here return status. So based on the last name, first name, account ID, we are creating a contact for a particular account. Whichever the account ID I gave for that same account, I am trying to create a contact. Okay. Now here what I am doing? Now we are supposed to call where action equal to component dot get c dot con create dollar a dot input action. So action dot set last name. These are the parameters what I passed. Are you following my point? Success. This is the structure, boss. Now, even we created a component JS Apex class, parent component correspond. First, let me show you in the UI part, then we'll come back to explaining this. account. In the parent component, I was supposed to call child component. So we had last name, first name, phone, such. But the phone and button is a separate functionality. In the UI, they are looking together, but the phone and search was a separate functionality. Once I enter the last name, first name, and phone number and click on search, immediately what will happen? The client side controller will be called. It will be searching for the data, and if ID is fetched, then server side, then what is that? Parent side controller will be called. First, what is happening? When you enter the phone number, last name, first name, phone, then you click on search. First, search method will be calling a client side controller. It will make a call to Apex class, get the ID of the ID of the account. Then it is going to fire an event. After firing an event, parent class will handle. Then it will try to create a new contact for that account. Are you getting my point? Now, if the component failed, if this component fail, then operation will be failed. Now, I am not carrying out the complete operation. I am running this operation. Based on the phone number. I want to search. If I get account ID, then only parent will be fired. If account ID is not fetched, automatically parent will not be fired. Operation will fail. So what I am doing, I am breaking the operation to number of subtasks. Are you getting my point? Okay. So first here, I will go with creating one account first. Nine 876. So we have some data. What was that record? That message was there on the parent. That message was given on the parent. Are you getting my point? So go back to this again. Right, boss? This should be created for which parent? Gini point. Because this contact was associated with the account called Gini point. Now, why that account was not associated with that?
While handling it, while setting the parameters,
Maybe.
is different.
Okay, let me go with this. What was that? The number
Account
7.
ID.
Okay, maybe because of that the value is not passed. Right. Okay, let me make search one more time. Then go and search for the data associated with the Gini point. I hope you are good. Now the flow, what happened, I'll explain you one more time. This is the UI. Let us try to understand the flow, the execution order of execution. Basically, internally, what was this? This was a child component. You are displaying everything as a component, but it's a child component. The moment you click on this, step number 1, submit. When you click on submit, what is the functionality that is called? Search method is called. Submit, search. JavaScript is called. The search, okay, search is called. Then it is reading, read the value of phone, right, call the Apex class, search for account ID. Then call the event, set the account ID fetched from Apex, fire event. Event is fired. Once event is fired, parent component handler is invoked. Now, who is the parent component? Parent component handler. What is that? Invoke. Parent component handler is automatically invoked. Then it is calling invoke method. What this invoke method is doing? Read last name, read first name, read account ID from event. So that event is passing account ID after running a particular logic. Then if you got that account ID, it's okay. If that account ID is not there, then I want to print a message at the bottom. So no such type of account found, enter the data. Then in that case, what will happen? The actual operation will not be fired. Now I want to call that parent if account ID is fine. If account ID is not found, I want to give else print a message. Else print a message. Okay. Read the account ID from the event, then call the class by passing data. Right. Now we have taken this. Else I can also have some extra functionality. We'll see that. Dynamic component. When I go for dynamic component, that will come into the picture. If this is found, show this data. Not found, show another data. Are you getting my point? Okay. I'll give an example one first. I hope this structure is good for everyone. Right? So what did you do? Child component, register the event. Child component will register the event and it will fire the event. Parent component will handle it. Did I call the method is called automatically, or I have called it parent component? Parent component handler is automatically called. We didn't do it manually. Automatically parent component event is automatically fired. The advantage of the event is it will be automatically fired by the people who are handling it. I hope you are good. People are good with this? Clear? Everyone is good with this? Any query? Shall we do one more example here? Shall we do one example? Okay. Let us see this one. Okay. Look at the next example. Now I am trying to insert account and contact boss. But the problem is I am not sure the DML is going to be success or a failure. I am trying to insert an account and contact. I am not sure whether DML is going to be success or failure. So in the parent component, first I am going to create a child component. We have one child component. The child component we have name, phone. Now, in the parent component, we have Let's take one method only right now. We can apply their button group, reset and create. This is what we have got. But actually what is this? These are the members of the parent and above is a members of the child. All these are child component members. Practically all these three are child component members. These two are parent component members. But when you are looking at the UI, it is looking like this. But a name, phone, rating are belonging to what? Child component. When I click on save, what should happen? When I click on save, method should be invoked. Method. This method will call apex class and it will try to insert the data into account. While inserting the data into account, the account may be success, may be failure. Account may be success, account may be failure. Account may be success, account may be failure. If account is success, return ID. Failure, return error. Return a message called error. If it is success, return the ID. Error, failed, return the error. Then what I am going to do? If response is error, return value is error. Then print alert insertion fail, insertion of account fail. Now it is not error if return value is ID, the value of return value is not error, then pass the account ID to event, fire the event. In the parent what it will do? Create a contact with the last name, first name and account ID. Right? If it is successful, then only it is calling. If it is not successful, it is throwing error message that it failed. Right? Are you getting my point? So can you create this example now? Right? Start creating an apex class. First. How many methods we require? If you make an attempt of writing at least 30 to 40% of the concept, you'll be understanding. Later you can work on it. Okay. Simply listen and go. You'll be Amirpet for a lifelong. You can watch a movie in Satyam Theatre. Okay, prawn biryani will be good in Kakatiya MS. Go and have prawn biryani there. Time will go. Now go with this. Create an apex class first. How many methods we require here now? 2 methods. One method should take name, phone, rating as parameter. Return what? String. ID I can take it as a string also, right? Right. Now create apex class with 2 methods. One is to create account, another is to create a contact. Create an account, create a contact. Create an apex class first. Create an Apex class with two methods. Start creating the program, boss. Created the Apex class. So how you are supposed to create? Public we had public here enable public static string run a result. Then what is the next one we have created? Even the same you want to put in the DML in a try catch, you can put it, boss. I'm just not taking second one in try catch. It's always a good practice to put DML in a try catch. This is how we created Apex class, right? Now create a child component, everyone. In the child component, what we require? Name, phone, rating. This is the Apex class. Anyone has any query on this Apex class? I hope everyone is good, right? Everyone is good with this. Everyone is good with this. Okay. Now create a child component. In the child component, what we require? Name, phone, rating. Create a child component. One component will be sufficient for us. Okay. And we are assuming that we already have an event. Let us say event name is account event. It is having attribute. Right. This is the event. This is the attribute. Now create a child component which will take the value of name, phone, rating, fire the event. First create the component, then we'll see the controller. First create the component, then we'll see the controller. Everyone create the component. What is the first line that you have to write? You are supposed to create register an event. First you are supposed to register an event. How do you register? You register event. Then name of the event. Then type you have to give it as what? C colon. After creating a event, what you are supposed to create? Create the input components. This is the child component. Now write the JavaScript for this. What is the JavaScript? Read the value of name, phone, rating, then call the Apex class method. What is the method you are supposed to call? Create account. It is a same old program, one extra line added called firing an event. One extra line added called firing an event. Otherwise, the program is the same old program, what we are doing from last 3 days. So how did you create this? Some function. First you are supposed to read a name. How do you read the name? Component dot find. Then we are going with phone. Component dot find. Then invoke a method from Apex class. Invoke a method. Invoke a method from Apex class. How will you call the Apex class? Where action equal to component dot get c dot then we are supposed to pass the parameters action dot set params. How do you pass the parameters? Then you are supposed to call the callback. In the callback, what are you doing? Get the state. Then you are supposed to get the return value. If result dot DML error print it is not an error, then you are supposed to fire an event. This is what I have given. Similarly, you can create a parent component, write the corresponding class. Then the parent said, what is that? Get the parameter, call the Apex class, insert the data. I hope everyone has followed these structures. Concept is clear? Clear, boss? Okay. So that's all from my end. We'll continue in the next session. And your videos will be uploaded by end of the day. Last week videos and this week videos, everything will be uploaded by end of this week. And I'm going to upload some of the old batch videos. Probably have a vacation break for the Dasra, right? So if anybody want to practice the advanced concepts, I'm uploading some next level, next concepts also. If anybody want to go through it, you can go through them. Right? Yeah.
Can you explain this one more time?
Yeah, tell me, Amma. So what did you
For
do?
this,
We read the value of a name. We read the value of a phone. These are the input components. Name, phone, rating we have taken. Then what I'm doing? Calling a method from Apex class. What is the method? Component dot get c dot method name. Action. Right? So what we are supposed to do? To this method we are supposed to pass the parameter. So action dot set params, name equal to the value what you entered, phone equal to the value what you entered, rating equal to the value what you entered. You pass the name, phone and rating as a parameter. Then you are calling callback. The callback, if state equal to success, operation is successful. Then get the response. What is the value we are getting? If the response is a DML error, why I gave here? If the DML failed, I told DML error. If the DML is successful, I told I will get account ID. So if result is a DML error, throw alert message DML failed. If it is not a error, then it was a successful. Then what I'm doing? Get the event, pass the account ID as a parameter to the event. Find the event. Okay?
so now we have to create a parent component also.
Yeah, you have to create a parent. I have only done with the child. You are supposed to create a parent and use it. You are supposed to create a parent and use it.